Welcome to the Transformation Institute's podcast for change. Here is our host, Omari Jahi Aton.
At this all right.
See where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
All right, welcome back.
Is it me or is he off?
I don't know. It sounds like he might be off, but he said he was trying something new. I don't know if
okay.
it's part of it or not. So we'll see. Or we
Okay.
live on here just talking to each other right now. We'll see.
See, that's what happens. Well, welcome to the Transformation Podcast. Soon you all will be introduced to our host, Omari. Anytime soon.
Can someone send him a text and let him know that he's not on?
Sure.
Because I'm on my phone, so I can't
I'm
send
on
out any
mine too.
text.
Okay, wait a
Let me
minute.
see that.
Okay, he's
Can you
back.
hear me now?
Sure,
Hello?
we can hear you now. Testing.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear
now
you.
y'all got me? Oh, I don't know what happened to me. I just disappeared.
Yes. We were like, okay, what happened?
I don't know what happened. But hey, again, I just like to welcome everybody to the Transformation Institute podcast for change. I'm your host, Omari Jahi, and today we're going to be talking about something that impacts every single one of us, whether we realize it or not. Tonight's episode is entitled "Controlling the Narrative: The Power of the Platform." Because each and every one of us has a platform, whether we're using it for the power that it provides, that's the question. If you've ever spent time behind a mixing board or a camera, your cell phone has a camera on it, so we've all been behind a camera before, or a DJ controller. You know the fundamental truth. Whoever controls the equipment controls the frequency of the room. And whoever holds the pen or points the camera dictates how the community is seen by the rest of the world. You see, we have all this media and they're promoting how they want our communities to be seen by the world. But we have our platforms. And we're doing basically nothing to promote the good that goes on in our hood, while all we get from media, the mainstream media, is they looking for clicks. They are putting things out that basically shows the deficits of what's going on, the bad things that are going on in our community. And for too long, we've been succumbing to media and news that focuses on these deficits in our neighborhood rather than the developments that's going on in our community. Mainstream platforms come in, point their lenses, and tell a story that often misses the ground truth of who we are and what we're building. But tonight, we're going to really have a conversation about all of this, and we're going to get to the bottom, or maybe we want to expose the fact that we can do something about this with our platforms. If we have Facebook and YouTube channel, if we have an Instagram page, if we have an X page, we have platforms by which we can be the media, I put it like that, for our own communities and start showing on our platforms the good things. And there are people out there that's doing that, but we need to get more people aware that we need to control the narrative. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome my co-host. Please put your hands together for Miss Vanessa. Then we got Brother Will. We got Kim, Londa, and V in the building. Y'all put your hands together for them. All right. So guys, controlling the narrative. We constantly talking about how, well, maybe we're not constantly talking about it, but there are others that are controlling how people view the Black community, how people view Black families, how people view Black women, Black men, how people view people, period. So if we're not controlling our own narrative, then there are those that with their pens, with their cameras, and with their video cameras are depicting our communities. I want to ask the question, can we be in charge of our own narrative and how people see us in our community? Can we take charge of that, or is that asking too much? What you think, V?
I mean, we most definitely have to take charge of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We have to take charge of that, because if we don't take charge of it, the same thing is going to continue to be happening. What's been happening for as long as I can remember. I'm pretty sure way before I was born, that the WMT, who I like to call the WMT, the World Management Team, has been controlling the medias and the news outlets for forever. And as long as if we don't take charge, they'll continue to put out what they want to put out about us, which is drama after drama, because they're not going to focus in on the good, because that's not what they want. That's not how they want us to be seen.
Yeah.
In order for them to continue to do what they do, you know what I'm saying? In order for them to continue to keep us down here while they up here.
Exactly.
So we must take charge. We must take charge of that in the way we can, or however we can.
Well, I mean, as it stands now, we have these platforms. Not everybody, but the majority of people have some social media presence. And this is and whether we know it or not, the police use our social media presence too when they're investigating crimes and they want to know more about you. They go on your social media page and they scroll through your posts and see what you're saying, what you're posting, all of that stuff. We always have our phones, and we either go live or we'll video or we'll take a picture of something. I think the only thing that maybe we need to add to that, because I see people, they post good things on their page, just like I just had a birthday party and I posted all the pictures from my party, right? It was a nice party. There was some drama at the party, but I didn't post that. Now you see what I mean? I didn't post the drama, but hey, if I was a celebrity and the media was at my party, believe me, they wouldn't have posted the pictures that I posted. They would have posted pictures of the drama. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that since we have the tools at our disposal, why don't we become the journalists? You know what I'm saying? In our own lives and in our own community, and start posting some things, because I done seen some other races do some foul stuff, but I don't go on my social media and say, look at what these so-and-sos are doing, but we're quick to be pointed out, and so I think we need to shift from just consuming media, because a lot of us, I know when my mama was alive, she couldn't miss the 10 o'clock news. Every day at 10 o'clock, her station, she had her favorite station. Channel 7 was her station.
Yeah. Yeah. 10 o'clock. I gotta watch it.
10 o'clock, so we can get the news.
Yep.
But the news is somebody else's narrative of the news. You see what I'm saying? And then it's almost like I seen this art. They had this rabbit. It's a clip art. I don't know where I saw it at, but they had a clip art of a rabbit with a gun. And the caption was, "It ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun." I don't know if y'all saw that before, but it's in reference to, hunters when they go out and they hunt for rabbits or whatever. The rabbits and the animals are running for their life while the hunters are shooting them, right? But just imagine if the rabbit got the gun now and the hunter is running. And I'm saying that we need to shift and flip this thing, this journalistic kind of genocidal thing that's being enacted on Black people, and let us start portraying the good things that we see in our community. And I think that people would get tired of watching Channel 7 and Channel 2 and Channel 5, because you'll begin to see that all they do is just post the negative, and is that really news? Is that really news?
No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, pertaining to the news, I've noticed that they pick up what's on social media based off the number of views. And I heard Channel 7 multiple times talk about a video that had like 1.8 million views. So it's like they're not really talking about the news. They're basically getting what they see online. And you do have a lot of influencers, I'm gonna call them, going live, doing like the crime chasers,
Yeah, the crime chaser. Yeah.
and doing other things. But if they don't have like multiple or large viewing, it won't get picked up on the news. You'll just see it on social media. So basically, social media is your platforms, and it's
Yes.
up to the influencers who have the million followers or the 100+ followers to post positive narratives, because if it's not positive, no one is going to really pay attention to it. They pay attention to the negative.
Right. So so I guess that's why we don't have a lot of positive stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Because it's not exciting.
Yeah. But you know what? I got almost 100 likes for my birthday pictures. But that's just based on people that know me. And they
So
were
you
happy
have a large following.
Right. You see what I'm saying? And
so you can use your platform to showcase some positive narratives.
Exactly. But guess what? I put out now at my party, I cuss people out. Well, I didn't really cuss people out.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I didn't cuss people out. I was cussing. I wasn't cussing people out. I just was cussing. No, I did not. No, I was cussing. And I didn't get a lot of clicks on that one.
Because you were talking at them like,
I was saying, make shit happen.
No, you were gonna do that.
See, like you said, I make shit happen. See, it's you.
No, I'm saying that everybody should make shit happen. And so we see, it's a shirt. I make shit happen. Everybody should make shit happen.
You need to trademark that.
Well, somebody else probably already did,
Look
but I'll
into it.
look it up, but maybe.
Yeah,
But
look
my,
into
my
it.
point is that, even though I was cussing and everything, and I guess like what you were saying, Kim, because I was talking about social media, and I said people that be messing around on social media be messing around looking for likes, But I didn't say it like that. Y'all know I use some superlatives and stuff like that, So, but I'm saying,
I'll be back.
okay, I'm saying that, people, we've been programmed to like certain things, If it's a birthday thing, everybody goes, it's I guess it's just we've been programmed to that's being respectful, so and so birthday today. It's respectful. Just say happy birthday, Even if you hate the person, there's people that I know don't like me with saying happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is that if we got something good going on in the community, it's like I'm part of this LLC. I'm in an LLC group, right? With 7 other guys. And we doing some good in the hood. We doing a little fundraising, this and that, another. That's not gonna get a whole lot of likes, because if it was 8 of us that was we had a lounge and we had and we was selling drinks and we had strippers and stuff like that, and then I had some pictures and videos of that, man, everybody, you get a whole lot of likes for that kind of stuff, but if we had a mentorship program, or like the Black Panthers was doing, how they fed the kids in the morning, breakfast before they went to school and stuff like that. If we did stuff like that, we wouldn't get a whole lot of likes, And I don't know if that's just based on who we are as humans now. I don't know if that's what that is, or maybe you all can shine some light on it, because I'm lost. I don't know why good seems bad now and bad seems like it's good.
It's the
You
era
know
that
what?
we're in.
I think it depends on your audience too. So, like you said, if we were feeding children before school or something to that extent, it may pick up a little momentum. And I think it depends on where like we're, you know, focusing our energy too, because I find that social media is full of a lot of nonsense, and they do um, kind of seem to gravitate towards all the negative stuff that goes on. And we've
Mm-hmm.
had these conversations just among us with, a lot of different things. I feel like if we get an audience of people who think like we think or feel like we feel, and we are able to grasp those people, then as we continue to speak to them and they start commenting and just putting their 2 cents in, then be better, because it's something going on with these algorithms. So
Mm-hmm.
now, because they want certain narratives to be broadcast, they do something to our algorithms. If you notice, like when they started playing with the algorithms, you don't see the people that you know all the time. They push who they want you to see on you now.
Yes, I've been
And
noticing that. Yeah.
we have to find a way to get back to controlling our algorithms. If we can't do that, then we aren't going to reach the ones we want. We'll always be all the robberies and everything. To be a part of an organization that worked with Black women. It was centered around Black women, and we were trying to do a lot of things. When we got a whole bunch of other Black women and they were sharing and, they were contributing, then we saw something positive going on with the site. Now, when I go look at that page, it's almost dead, because no one's like going back and forth. There's no interaction. So sometimes it's us too. You know, if we don't interact a certain way, then people aren't going to interact. But it's sad that we can't. Here's a perfect example. So I don't know. Some of you don't know, but I started a blog a few years ago.
Oh,
I
wow.
love to write. So,
Mhm.
and when I about something, I'll write a book. I don't get a lot of people on those posts because they don't want to read. They want to be entertained. They want to see visual things. So if we know all of this about social media or about anything that goes on now, then if we start incorporating all those things that grab them, then we probably could. If you notice, a lot of people do the clickbait. They'll have you
Yes.
thinking you're gonna watch something, and then you sit there, you spend 3 seconds watching something like, what am I watching? This isn't what I clicked on, and you go back off
Yes.
because they wanted you to just click. As long as they get that click or they get a like, it's going to help them. So we may need to start playing some of the games they play to get the information to people that we want them to have. And that's sad, but it's true.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, that just happened to me today. I was online and I was looking for a online teleprompter, you know, and every time I would see one that says free online teleprompter, I click on it, and then it asks me for my email address. Then it starts asking me to register, you know, and sign up or whatever. You know, and then once I finish signing up and everything, getting my email address, then I find out it wasn't a teleprompter at all. It was for creating videos. And I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't asked for no videos. You know, I wanted a teleprompter. So why am I signing up? And then I did it again. And I went and it says online teleprompter, free online teleprompter. I clicked on it, make sure I clicked on it. And it came up again. What is your email address? Asking for all my information and everything. So now I know I'm getting all kind of mail, junk mail from these folks in my email, and I ain't even want this. You see, so it like what Vanessa is saying, you know, and then just because I said teleprompter, do you know that this stuff be listening to you?
Yeah.
And then you go into your emails or whatever, and you start seeing advertisements for the stuff you just said.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, this is some weird stuff here, you know, but this the world we living in. You know what I mean? And when we say control the narrative, you know, the narrative is basically the information. You know, who's telling the story about Black people in America? It ain't us. You know, somebody else telling our story.
I don't think no one's telling the story.
Say again?
I said, I don't think no one's telling the story.
Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, believe me, they tell the story. Every time you look at the news and you see Pookie and Ray Ray robbed the store and they stole a truck and ran a truck into a bank or into a T-Mobile or something, and they went in there and they robbed all the phones and everything out of there and got away. And they got pictures of Pookie and Ray Ray. You know, they ain't got no mask on, dumb as hell, dumb robbers, you know. And they show this on TV and everything. So what is that saying about young Black men? That they telling the story. But yet still you got the those young men at Leo. Now for some reason they promote that a little more so than they do these charter schools.
Because they reached that platform, they reached over 100, they reached over 1 million views. That's how they got the recognition.
I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna bring that up when we talk about seeing more positive things, like what you was doing out there with your LLC brothers. If y'all had more media on your media was on y'all, if y'all had more like, you know, on that type of platform,
Followers,
then you would have a lot of people that were actually like that. You know, people seen it, you know what I'm saying? But people don't usually see that. And then people ain't really seeking that out because like y'all said earlier, we're programmed so much to drama. And that's where it really starts with self. That's why everything starts with self. You got to start changing your mind and changing your habits of things that you've been brainwashed to do, taught to do. However, we are so focused on drama all the time. And that's what we do. We look for it. So every time somebody, a fight or something come up on the internet, you looking at it. You looking at what people do. You looking at the crime chasers. You looking at, certain programs and stuff we like and addicted to and love to watch. They just nothing but drama, nothing but black folk dogging out black folk. You know what I'm saying? Disrespectful for each other are some of our favorite TV shows and movies. That's what they all about. And so that's part of it. Like when you seeking out drama instead of seeking out more positivity.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's if things were on a bigger platform like that, if it was in more eyes like that, people would gravitate towards it because there's a lot of people out here doing good things and they get a lot of likes and they doing their thing. We just need more of that. It's just not enough of it.
Now, who's that said about the algorithms? Because that was very interesting.
But Vanessa, I think.
Vanessa, yeah, that's very interesting because this algorithm thing just started happening maybe about a couple of years ago. It wasn't really, they ain't been around that long, because I remember when I first used to go live, oh my God, y'all, my battery is going dead and my charger's not working. But let me finish this thought. If I crash out, I'm gonna come back on my phone. But I remember when I was when we were live streaming that we could reach more people. More people were receiving our live stream, and then when this algorithm thing kicked in, the algorithm determines who sees your stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, was the algorithm created for a good thing? Created so that people, I guess that their method or their logic behind it was that they wanted people to see important things and bypass all the garbage that's out there on the internet. But who determines what's garbage and what's good? You see, somebody else is determining that again. See, that's what I'm talking about. The narrative, somebody else is controlling that. Who decides what you saying is good? Our podcast. Who decides who sees our podcast? And if the topic or the subject matter that we're talking about is good enough for people to see.
I think it has something to do with your topics. If it's not too political or if it goes against the current administration, because if it does, then they're going to block it.
Well,
they're
that
not going
goes
to air it.
freedom of speech. You see what I'm
I
saying?
get that, but it's like your freedom of speech is not free no more. Because if you go against the agenda of the current administration, you get flagged or they'll block your coverage. And I noticed that with one of the followers that I follow, they talk about the political, what's going on in the political world, and they were saying how recently their videos are not being seen, and they don't know what's going on, and it's because they talk about with the current administration. And as you know, the FCC is trying to block so many of these night shows because they go against the administration. So it's like the current administration is trying to control the narrative on all platforms because they want you to talk about what they want you to talk about.
But now,
you gotta let them know that it's for educational purposes or it's for entertainment purposes, and I think those little small disclaimers make a bit of a difference, but just a bit of a difference.
It's about finance too. It's about the financial aspect too, because think about it. Social media has made a lot of rich Black people. They had great followings and that increased their pocketbooks. They don't want to see that. Anytime we do something positive and great numbers and it brings us a lot of revenue, now we have to find out how to stop it. So a lot of that is financial as well.
I think it's go ahead, Lon.
I think it's a frequency trap. Like just my perspective, it's a frequency trap. So like Vanessa was saying, when you do good in the hood or positivity, then it doesn't get that much interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta kind of think like, as our people just nosy as hell, where they only want to see what happened, or what happened, oh, they fighting, or somebody got shot, what happened. So they
Mm-hmm.
clickbait, and you get more views because y'all just nosy as hell. They just want to know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And some, the energy of something ghetto happened, something hood happened, they fighting, they shooting, they killing, and they're intrigued by it. So they get more views, and you get more engagement, and you get more comments, and you get more likes, and you get more shares. And every time you engage with that depiction of what just happened, then as Vanessa was saying, the algorithm just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going because y'all constantly engaging into it. But then when you do have a site like the Black Panther Party that's, feeding the kids before breakfast or giving back backpacks,
Mm-hmm.
before school starts, we may look at it, but how many of us look at it and actually engage into it, engage with it? How
Right.
can we help? How can we don't do that? And again, it's all about frequency for me. And as V was saying, I don't think that, like, they put what they want you to see. Like, regardless if we did good or bad, he who controls propaganda and he who controls the
Yes.
media is still going to be able to control what it is that you see. I don't care how bad it is or how good it is. We don't control the broadband. And if we don't control the broadband, then we really don't control what we do unless you know how to be organized and do it amongst each other.
Yeah, everything you all have said is 1,000% true. It's the truth, and for me, it only paints the picture of this thing that we classify as freedom. We want to act like we so free, but yet and still we're not free to say what we want to say on social media and it get to the masses of the people without somebody saying, no, we don't want people to hear what you saying. Whether it's political or not, people aren't allowing just like on this podcast, like I'm saying, our subject matter tonight. They don't want folks to hear that. They don't want people to think for a change. And so our podcast might get to 10 people. It might get broadcast to 10 people or whatever, but what is that saying about us as a society? And we don't think we can do anything about it. You see, but we got to go back to old school, go back to the basics. What was the basics? You seeing a nigga standing on the corner with a bullhorn. Let me see an algorithm interfere with that. See you know what I'm saying? You seen people passing out pluggers to people at the train station or little newspapers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And,
it does, but it's the same. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But it's the same as if, at least for me, is how I view it. They, which meaning the masses that control the media or the propaganda or the media.
We used to
or
say
whatever,
white people, but they're not just white no more.
Yeah, them.
Mm-hmm.
They feed you things to keep you at a low vibration. They feed you things to keep you at a low frequency. They feed you things that make you stop thinking for yourself. Like people like me, because there's a tribe of people like me that think outside the box. Whatever they say, you're gonna do the total opposite. I love those people. But we don't think that they show us all the guns and all the killings. But where did these young men get the gun from? Where did the young men get the guns from? You want to know why? You intentionally had a plan. You put these guns on the freight, as we call them, and you slid that freight through the hood and you stopped it, and you knew exactly what was going to happen at that time of the day, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They followed through with the plan. They unlocked it, and it probably wasn't locked, and now they have all these machine guns and all these handguns. Nobody has a license or concealed to carry, even though, you know, they do have a right to protect themselves to bear arms. But you put that there for a reason, and you didn't put it in country club hills. You didn't put it out
Yep.
where the mass is rich. You didn't put it where you put it. You knew exactly where you put it. That was part of the plan. But they show us the killing. They didn't show us the trick that they actually did when they actually put it there. It's the
Yeah.
same with drugs. You show all the drug dealers that you just arrested, but none of them are manufacturers. So how did
Mhm.
they get here to begin with? But
Yeah.
they don't want us to think. They just show us what the depiction of what they want us to see, and we run with it. And nobody questions the big brother, or nobody questions nobody questions them, nobody questions it because you just go with it.
Right.
And that's
See,
why we kind of stuck where we are, because
yes.
nobody thinks outside of the normal.
And
My
that's
opinion.
that's the narrative. You're right, Londa. And that's the narrative. And we're not controlling it. You know, we're not controlling the narrative on the majority of the narrative on fashion. We don't control that narrative. What's
Mhm.
fashionable for Black women? What's fashionable for Black men? We don't control that narrative, but we got platforms. All we do is follow what other people say. You know,
Well, women have never had basically a real say so, more so ever. From the beginning of the time, it was controlled by religion, men, and the powers that be. What a woman was
supposed
perceived
to.
as, what the value of a woman was determined by somebody else. It was never the actual value of that woman. It was always controlled by somebody else. So that's a totally different story. But
I mean, that's really
they
interesting. I was thinking about that earlier today. You know how men used to stand up when a woman entered the room
Mhm.
until she took a seat. You know, that was showing respect. It showed the honor that she had among Black men and the family as a whole. You know, and all of that stuff is gone now. And so now, now I ain't even finna go there. Like you said, Londa, that's a whole nother subject in itself. You know, but to be honest with you, these narratives that we're identifying a lot of them right now today, what these narratives are, and we have platforms by which we can actually control that narrative. There are Black fashion designers that are making clothes, designing
Mhm.
clothes. You see what I'm saying? But they don't get any publicity. You don't see their stuff. You don't hear about them. You don't hear about the athletes that is donating to different charities, helping young kids out. This and that. And other. You don't hear, but you hear about him if he beats up his girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we're seeing this in real time, that we live in a society that depicts or determines what you're going to see and what you don't see. You know,
Mhm.
what you're going to eat and what you don't eat. You know, I was just telling my wife the other day at our party, we had a tent in the backyard, right? And we had two of those big old heater things that stand up like trees. I don't know if you all ever seen those, but I remember 10 years ago, before they came out on the market where Black people could get them, I was performing at a white venue, and it was called Pinstripes, way up north in the suburbs. And they had those things 10 years ago for the white people. They was out there, and 10 years, we didn't get them until 10. I mean, Black folks weren't able to, maybe we couldn't afford them. I don't know. And then they reduced the price once white folks got something else that they're using for heaters. Now they selling them to us. So it's like they control everything. You know, if it, I mean, how can we not see that we're still slaves? Because if you didn't go through well, I'm going off. I see I'm going off, so let me stop. But I got to finish my thought. If we don't get their education, then we can't get their jobs. And if we get their jobs, that means we can afford their homes and their houses and their apartments. And it means that we can buy their food. It means we can buy their clothes. It means that we can still, even though we're working for a living and we're not slaves and we get money, we give it right back to them for all of these things that are supposed to be necessities, and we should be having them because it's only the human
Well,
thing.
you are definitely gonna go off topic with that, going in that direction. So
Yes,
I'm gonna
I know.
direct you back on down this way. So that is since we're talking about transformation and educational purposes and platforms, we're gonna use this platform for a second to like educate in a sense for those
Yes,
that don't know, right? So
yes.
in reality,
Mm-hmm.
nobody taught, like, I kid you not, like I blow my mama sometimes because like it was never taught. Like financial literacy was never taught. The real behind a dollar has no value. The United States has been in debt since 1933. So if you already went bankrupt and you never actually came back from it, then how do we owe you anything? So if you don't understand and you don't know that in 1934 or maybe 1956, a dollar, as we call it, had two words at the top. It said silver certificate. And if you
Right.
have an old dollar, I can actually go show you some. It
Mm-hmm.
said silver certificate. It was backed by silver and gold. That's how barter and trade actually worked when they took the money, the gold and the silver away. It was a silver certificate. Now it's called a Federal Reserve note. It's a note. That's what all your dollars say. Federal
Mm-hmm.
Reserve note. And if you don't know the difference, like, it's a debt. How am I pay you with a debt? We give their money value by what we keep placing on top of it. But if we understand that we are the creators of all things, we created, I'm gonna say 90%, 80 to 90% of everything that moves and operates. If we did what it is that we do and we barter and trade amongst each other, we give the system no value. Like, we have no value to depend on them. Because guess what? Vanessa got collard greens over there. Kim got eggs because she got chicken. V got all the other herbs and medicinal things that you absolutely need. And like, we all trade something. So when they say that
Mm-hmm.
money don't grow on trees, they actually lie, because they actually do.
That's what I'm
We just
saying.
don't know it.
Barter, the barter system. You do a service. Hey, I can give you this to pay for it. You need it. I
Yeah.
Mhm.
got it. Why not trade? Whatever
And that's
happened
how
to
we
that
was.
system? Whatever happened to
We-
that system?
They buried it underwater,
But that
straight
was a
up,
good
literally buried
system.
it
Like,
underwater.
you do something for me and I got toilet paper, I got detergent. Hey, I can give you a couple bottles of detergent. I can use the detergent. Thanks. That's worth
But
more
the
than you
one of
paying
our
me.
viewers, oh, it just went away. But they said, as Black people, we don't, basically, it doesn't work for us. Oh, control the narratives are in. Hold on. As Black, we don't control the narratives in our communities. Why? Because we are so divided, and I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely.
We can't do
Absolutely.
nothing organized. Like, it
Nope.
cannot be nothing organized because you got too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Like, that's number one. Number two, everybody gonna want to do it their way. Nobody's gonna want to follow a system.
Or
Nobody's really gonna
compromise.
want to learn because they
Nope.
think they all know everything. So I totally agree. We are so divided.
Yep.
That's the design that been placed in for so long. The divide
The
and
divide.
conquer.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They keep us divided, they win, and they gonna keep winning as long as we stay divided.
But the
But
problem
if
is,
we just created on this podcast, right? So we do this podcast every single Thursday, and we do it at 8 o'clock, and we're live, right? So if we invited every Black person and our families, friends, networks to actually come over, right? Everybody's good and do something, regardless of what it is, and we just created a space for Blacks to trade with other Blacks, or Blacks just to do business with other Blacks. Eventually, since we're the mass, we don't have a need for them anymore because we have Black farmers now. We have Black barbers. We have Black beauticians. We have Black educators. We have Black nurses, like we really don't need them. We don't.
Nope.
And if everybody gives something that they have in their skill trade and their talent, like I think that's the only way we pretty much gonna go up. Is we're gonna all be uncomfortable for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
But
thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kim.
not gonna say it's just trying to reach those people because you got to get them interested to come on. Yes, you share it out there on your page and everything, but to get them to tune in, get them interested, that's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, people are. See, this is the thing. We've been programmed
That's the
in
key.
what to be interested in. What to put value
But
to.
I would love for us to bring back the barter system because it worked back in the day. It was
It
like,
works
We
Well,
know it works
today.
'cause it
You
worked
barter
for
today.
centuries. It worked for centuries.
they'd be
I
like,
mean,
okay, what am I gonna do with this? I want the money. Pay me. Pay me for my
but the money don't
services.
even have no
But
value,
I
Kim.
can give you goods for your service. I mean, come on
It
now.
is, but money doesn't have a value. Like money only has the value that we actually put onto it. And technically, they use a social or credit for everything anyway. We're not even gonna talk about the Federal Reserve people or the District of Columbia because I can get off topic with that real easily. But literally, like for us, like man, book. See, they said if you ever want to keep something from Black people, you just put it in a book, and it's just like literally like we don't read, and those of us that do, like, is the topics are boring to other people. They don't want to hear it when we do the real educational purposes to like untrap me. That should be a topic. Untrap me. If you want to be untrapped, let's go. But that barter system has worked, as Vanessa said, for centuries. It's the best one ever. We don't depend on anybody but ourselves. And if we had to SOS and save ourselves again, that's the only way that is going to work. You
Well,
got flour, you got sugar, you got herbs, you got peace, like you got fruit, like everybody, like there's no money. So I have to give you something in exchange for something.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
well,
depend on anybody but ourselves. It works.
Yeah.
I think that goes into Londa what we value. It's like, do we value sugar and
I don't believe in that no
and
more.
flour and all of that, or are we valuing Jordans and
And it's
Nikes?
like we have so much stuff because we buy so much stuff and we just throw out so much stuff instead of saying, hey, I can get this to you. I'm not using it anymore, but you got to trade for it. We'd rather just throw it away or just donate it.
Not just trade for it though, but like going back to like if money has no value and your wealth was based off your kindness. If your wealth was based off kindness and money had no value, how wealthy would some of us be?
Not
That's
that
a good
How
wealthy.
question.
wealthy would our culture be?
We'll be broke.
I
Not that
Because
mean,
Nobody's
wealthy.
kind anymore.
even if your chickens didn't lay any eggs this week, but you need something from me, there should be a trust system where, okay, like my chickens, didn't lay any eggs, but I need these 3 tomatoes like right now. I need these 3 cucumbers right now. You should be able to come get that with the IOU that you bring back the eggs later. Like it's a trust thing. It's a trust thing also, but until we deprogram, unprogram, and reprogram, we're gonna be FUCKED.
That's the
well,
thing.
How stores used to give you those store credit. You remember your mom would send you to the store and get some stuff and put it on a credit, and she paid
yeah,
like at the end of the week. What happened to that? You just brought back that memory.
yeah.
What
I'm,
happens was some of the cousins start going in there taking what they wanted, and now we have to lock stuff up because you're gonna take everything and leave me with nothing. And I'm your brother, I'm your sister. But you won't do it to everyone else. This is kind of we have these conversations all the time. Like it's us that hurts us. They can't do anything to us unless we allow them to. When we are dead set on something, it's no stopping us, but we have to be on the same page about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only
again,
us, to be honest with you, that's divided. No other race is divided like we are. It's
that's
crazy.
because Kim. That's because
Why we're the race that the most divided? Why we're the ones that's feared the most?
Well,
You know,
that's
we
gonna
don't
go back
control our
way
own
back.
narrative.
I'm just saying it's
It's gonna go
interesting.
back to the Willie Lynch stuff, and that's how it's programmed. Like that's how it was designed. But they 400 years is actually coming to an end. So if we do it right, like again, that frequency and energy, dreams, manifestations, all those things are actually real. But it's gonna take a whole lot of patience, a whole lot of teaching, a whole lot of educating, and everybody gonna be uncomfortable for a long time until we get it. And most of us, it's like it's not each one teach one. Basically, it's really of a I'm gonna look out for me, you look out for you. Until there's a need, and when there's a need, then things change.
Londa, you just touched on something talking about Willie Lynch. Perfect example. Project 2025. The
Oh
Mhm.
few of
wow.
us who thought about it, believed it could happen, or believed they were putting it in place. You start talking, having conversations with people. What did they say? Oh, that'll never happen. They couldn't do anything like that.
Look at us now.
And
Oh, wow. I guess it
that is
happened.
test based. They testing it. They test everything for trial and error. They're gonna test to see number one, how far y'all really gonna go before y'all flip all this shit over. Number one, it's a
Mm-hmm.
test to see, are you gonna be calm, cool, and collective? Are you let us gonna get away with it? Are you gonna abide by our rules even if you don't? Like it's a test to see how are you going to react. Those cell phone towers going down with T-Mobile and Verizon for a day, when the blackout happens for real, it was a test to see what are y'all actually going to do and how far I can actually go with this before it goes. Like I'm just a strong believer of we got to teach each other, we got to be kind to each other, and we all got to help each other. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you see Miss Jones over there struggling, help her.
Right.
Ain't no need to talk about that she's struggling over there. If you got it, help her.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
guess what happens? She returns the favor. That returns the favor. It's the domino effect. And even if we not at the top, we'll be a little bit more comfortable than where we are now.
Mm-hmm. You know,
Yeah.
you just touched on something else, the cell phone towers being a test. You and I believe that, but if we had conversations with at least 5 people, it would be at least 3 saying, y'all tripping. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
overthinking it. Y'all thinking too deep into this stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then when it starts happening more and more, and then one day they've been warning us, hey, what are you gonna do when everything goes down? How are you going to contact your loved ones? You better put plans in place.
Yep.
I bet
You heard what Amari
anything,
just said, right?
10
He
people
literally.
have plans in place.
I can't hear him. Is he talking?
I was saying, y'all can't hear me. Y'all can't hear
Oh
We
me.
no,
can now. We can
We
we
now.
can.
can now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
was
can't
talking.
hear him,
Maybe
but okay, I just
I just have to. I guess I have to put my mouth down here by the speaker, the mic or whatever.
No, but it was. But Vanessa is just like Amari had just said. Like he had some heaters in his backyard that was accessible to him now that other people had access to 10, 15 years ago, right? The common person, literally, that's why I call it April Fools, because you got to be a fool to believe half the stuff that they actually teach you, right? You got to be a fool to think that they are 20, 30 years ahead of us. So everything that's going on now, they probably started that in
Yeah.
2020. They probably, I mean,
Yes.
2000 for 2025. That wasn't something that just happened. What's going on now? They're not targeting us no more. Our targets are already hit. They targeting our kids now. So now you got to teach them how
Yes.
to be self-sufficient and that they always gonna be 10 steps ahead of us, like until we learn to not to depend on them, period. Like until we not need you for not, you know who don't get messed with? The Amish people. Do y'all ever see the Amish people get messed with?
Nope.
The
No.
Amish people don't use internet, they don't use their cable, they don't use their Wi-Fi, they don't use nothing. They are self-sufficient and off
Hmm.
grid, and
Yeah.
nobody practice with them.
Yeah. Except when they want to go to Rumspringa. Some of them go to Rumspringa and then they come here, chill, do whatever party for a minute, then they go back. Some of them stay, but some of them see how it is and they go their ass right back.
Yep.
Real
Now,
talk.
Yeah.
They
when I'm
they
in
very
Tennessee,
self-sufficient.
when I'm in Tennessee, there's an Amish community that we'll go to like get vegetables and fruits and everything, because they still basically take care of all of their own products and everything, and people like to buy from them. You can't be in their area when it gets dark because it's pitch black. You can't see in front of your face. No electricity. And they keep warning us, we better learn how to live like that, because when everything goes down, we're going to have to find out the hard way if we don't get
Man.
things in check now. So I love camping, so I'm gonna start learning how to build fires and not use the lighters, because something tells me I'm laughing now, but I may not be laughing in a couple of years.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
computer, we may not be able to talk via computer in a couple of years, because right now we're seeing all these bombings and all these drones targeting things. They're going to go for this technology. They're going to hit us with technology because this is what controls everyone right now. So how
They
do
can
they
hit it and
to
get
us?
everybody an 800 credit score. They can hit it that way. Just hack the system and get everybody an 800 credit score. That's another way to hack it. The U.S. would definitely go down. Go ahead. Not that I want y'all to do that, but I'm just saying.
Look, 800 credit score ain't gonna help us when we sitting in the dark.
Yeah, but it'll get us the necessities that we need while we in the dark, uncomfortable.
All right,
Yeah,
closing thoughts, you guys.
Closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. What? Anybody have any closing thoughts?
Man, I guess, man, we just gotta, like y'all said, we gotta just, for as far as we talk about media and all that stuff, everything, we gotta learn how to come together and be together. And I mean, that's a tough ask because it's like, damn, nobody. I mean, we just have to figure it out, because I think they keep us separating stuff already, and we got to figure it out as a people. Like, we got to get back with each other. Like, as Kim stated earlier, she was asking why we the only people, that was on my mind, why we the only people that can't come together and do this and that. And I think to answer that question is because we're the spenders.
Yes.
And so we're the spenders, so they got to keep the spenders separated and competing against one another so we can keep spending the money, while everybody else has that play, like what Yolanda talking about. Like, yo, everybody else seems to get that idea of helping each other and, making sure each other good, but we don't. So let's just get it
the
together.
Hispanics, the Hispanic people, they raise chickens here in the city. I mean, they got live chickens. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Everybody getting it.
They also live with each other until one's able to afford to get one out one by one. That's something that ain't gonna happen here. We're gonna talk about that later, but yeah.
We used to do that, but
we also got
now we were too good to do it. But we used to do that, especially during the migration to the north. Everyone that came from south, your family members, 9 out of 10, someone was up north, and they started bringing them up. I know with my family, that's how it happened, especially my family that was on the west side on my dad's side. Brothers and sisters came up. Everybody lived with this relative. They got on their own. Then they brought somebody else up, and that's how everybody ended up coming from.
Well, that goes hand in hand with the destruction of the family structure. When the black family structure was destroyed and taken out of whack, everybody else's family ain't like that. Hispanics ain't like that. You see what I'm saying? Only the black family is the woman, the head of the household. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that women, I'm feeling some kind of way about women because they're the head of the household. I'm saying that we're the only race that's happening right now. And so everybody else is still on course, on point. You know, they're either got gardens in their backyards and things of that nature. They're making their own clothes. You know, all of those things are a part of being self-sufficient. We don't want to be self-sufficient. We want government subsidies. We want all of that stuff, the aid, the food stamps, give us everything, you know, and we just got to get out of that crap. Like V was saying, we got to get our shit together, make shit happen. That's my closing thought.
So I guess my closing thought will be kind of what you just touched on. We need to come together and get it together, because we've said this several times. If you know better, do better. We have to stop talking about if we know, because we know. Black people are smart, intelligent. We know, we just have to do better. So the no part is no doubt. We just have to do better, and we have to get to the point where we want to have the Black Wall Streets again. We want to have thriving communities, and we have to find out how to keep them from burning our shit down again, because that's what happened. They're gonna burn it down, flood it, whatever. We have to know that when we do get back to how we should be in our communities, that we make sure we protect those communities, so we can't keep repeating what history has shown us they do. We know what they do. We know the trick of the enemy. Let's start talking about how we gonna keep our foot on the enemy's neck instead of them keeping their foot on ours.
Amen. Amen.
We also got to get back to honor, respect, and trusting each other, you know, amongst our own community. I think a lot of the trust has been thrown out the window when it comes to us. We don't trust each other. You know, sometimes we don't even trust ourselves, but, you know, we need to get back to those basics, you know.
Yeah. All right, guys, we out of time, so I thank everybody for being on. I'm on my phone, so I can't see who all made comments. Before I got kicked off, my laptop went dead. I seen Hercules. He made a couple of comments, and I think I saw.
He's the only one that I've seen today, Tyrone. For some reason, I don't know if anybody else has been experiencing problems, but I've been having problems all night on here. And it's weird that no one is showing up in the comments at all but Hercules. It's like a ghost town in the comments tonight. So I don't know if there's a problem going on or not.
Damn,
I can't even hear Tyrone.
You still can't hear me? Oh, wow.
See, the algorithm.
There's something going on. There's something going on.
I can hear Tyrone. I can hear you.
Okay. Well, hey, so we got to get out of here, y'all. So we overtime. I thank you all for being here. I thank everybody for their comments, Hercules and everyone. So until next week, we continuously ask, think for a change. Till next week, y'all. Peace.
Good night.
Thanks for supporting our podcast. We look forward to see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. We also ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. The more subscribers we have, the more YouTube will push our podcast to more viewers. But until then, subscribe also for a peaceful mind. Your activity will reflect that peace.